is that the meeting will be recorded for our YouTube channel. So if you don't want to be on YouTube, hide your face or something, I don't know. But anyway, it will be, just Indigo Indivisible YouTube. It's not like a lot of people watch it, but just so you know that it will be recorded. And I want to introduce our candidates that we have running for City Council that are here tonight. We've got Sharon Milton. Yes, Sharon. And we have Henry Milton and his wife, Merle. And we are so happy to have some competition this year. Some years we have no competition when we go to vote. We don't have any choices, so they've given us some choices. Yes. And are there any other candidates here that I missed out on? I was looking around, I didn't want to miss anybody, any other candidates. I think Kathy Redwine is coming, but I'll catch her later. Okay, so today we have some special visitors. They came all the way from Greenville to see us. And they're the co-founders of Indivisible Upstate SC. And they've been going longer than us. They've been going since December, and we've been going since February. So they probably had the same motivation to start as we did. Anyway, we got Cindy and Aaron, and then we're just going to have maybe a discussion about unity and maybe some things as a state, indivisible groups we can do together. And I just want them to come on up, if they don't mind. And do you want each one your own microphone?
No.
Okay. So this is Cindy. This is Cindy, and this is Aaron.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting us to come and visit with y'all tonight. We're really excited to be here. Just to give you a little bit of background on us, I am a kindergarten teacher. I know nothing about activism. I have 2 children, and after the last election, I decided that I couldn't be still and do nothing. So I responded to Indivisible National and said I wanted to join my local group, and a few days later I got an email back from the regional organizer, and she said, "Yay, we're so excited that you want to join Indivisible. You don't have a local group." And I was like, oh, that's not good. So I sat on that for a couple of days, and I thought, well, if somebody doesn't do it, then it's not going to happen, right? So I emailed Rachel back, and I said, I know nothing, like 0. But if you'll hold my hand and tell me what to do, then I'm happy to try to get this group off the ground. And Rachel was like, I hold hands all the time. This will be fine. And then I pretty much never heard from her again. So I am just trying to feel my way through this. And within a few weeks, I get this lovely phone call from someone I have never heard of before. And she says, "Hi, I'm Erin, and I'm running Together Greenville. And I just found out that you were running Indivisible, and I just wanted to meet you, and can we chat?" And so Erin and I connected, and she was running one group, and I was running another, and we were overlapping all the time. And so we decided we would just join forces, and so we've been doing a lot of things together ever since. We have a really strong leadership team that we're super duper proud of, but one of the reasons why we're here tonight is because we have a couple of members on our leadership team who like to really dig into legislation. They were watching the state house bills in the spring and tracking the things we wanted to respond to. We've got some people who are watching our city and county councils and the things we want to respond to there. And then, of course, over the summer, we have been hearing about the things like Governor McMaster wanting to check out our resources for establishing the Palmetto Pen. and also sending some of our guard troops up to DC just recently. And so that's when we decided we needed to stop working in our upstate silo. We really needed to figure out where all of you are so that we can connect with you and we can work together and we can come together as a state and really hopefully make a difference. So we sent an email out, this was actually before the guard troop thing, it was the Palmetto Pen, about trying to see who was interested in participating and what kind of ideas we might have. And Barbie responded to us. And so we've been chatting back and forth a little bit since then. And we are here tonight because we want to open the floor and talk to you and hear your ideas about things that we could do better if we're together instead of if we're indivisible here and indivisible here and indivisible here. So is there anything you want to add before we just... No. Erin does not like the microphone. So I'll just start with, like, do any of you have connections to any of the other indivisible groups in the state?
So let me ask a forward question. How many groups are there in the state?
Okay, that's a great question. And I'm going to repeat it for those who are on YouTube. The question was, how many groups are there in the state? And I don't know that answer. I think that there are maybe about a dozen. Do you think that's about right?
We're in the process of Googling it.
Okay, we're trying to find that answer. I know up where we are, we have Upstate Indivisible and we have a Clemson area Indivisible, and those are the only upstate chapters. I know there is a Columbia chapter, and then I know that there are several along the coast.
There's one in Charleston. I do know that.
Charleston,
Yeah.
and Beaufort.
Okay, those are separate.
And I'm not actually sure.
We're still trying to find them
Right,
ourselves.
yes.
That's part of it.
And I keep getting promised by National Indivisible that they're going to help us create a statewide network, but I haven't been able to get anybody pinned down long enough because South Carolina is a small state and South Carolina is a red state, and they're focused elsewhere.
They're growing also.
And they're growing also, and they don't have the manpower to handle everything at the moment. They're having growing pains as well. So I don't have a whole lot of statewide information yet.
I
Yes.
was just gonna say, I think it's short-sighted of the national indivisible people. I think it's more important for us to be more active in a red state.
That's right.
And that they should
And we agree. And that's part of why
We think it's really competitive.
I think I'm big enough to care. For us to join together, because we feel the exact same way, and we have some real major crummy players in our state that we need to work together to get out of here. I mean, not only do we need to fight Palmetto Pen together, we need to fight to remove anyone who supports that, not just kill it as an idea, but remove everyone who wants it.
What is that?
It's South Carolina's version of Alligator Alcatraz. That's Nancy. Palmetto Penitentiary, which, so that's Nancy, I think Nancy Mace might have come up with that.
I think Nancy Mace did come up with the name. McMaster has gone as far as to say that he's evaluating our resources on whether or not we are in a position that we can build our own detention center. But I don't think that anything has been established yet, although the federal government has offered funding to red states who are willing to build their own detention centers. So we have, our people in power have motivation to do this.
And we all live here and know how much we like to give incentive to other things here, so that's why we're here now to get ahead, which is probably not that's probably a misnomer, because our minds are that it's already wheels in motion. So what can we do that's more than just bringing people into the streets to protest? Where we are in the upstate, we have 2 protest chairs. We've had very large protests. We've been on Rachel Maddow, we've gotten that. That's not changing anything. It's wonderful for recognition, it's wonderful for recruiting folks. It's not actually doing anything to change. We contact our legislators, we are very involved with city council, with county council, like Cindy said. We have our leadership team that are following, like she said, legislature. What can we all do if we were all to get together? A statewide petition? Should we all meet in Columbia? What can we do? Because to my mind, the concentration camp, and I'm Jewish, and that's what it is to me, represents more than that itself. It's all the horrible things that would bring it, that happened for it, the reasons for it, all of it. We don't want any of it. What do we do?
May I? The question is a really good one, and it's the question that I think is most important to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We want to affect change. How we measure that change is in question also. But, okay, 2 things. One, in order to connect all of the indivisible groups in the state, if we started by saying, okay, I know that there's this chapter over here and this chapter over here, if we start just with getting the group email for each indivisible organization, then we could at least have an email chain through which anybody who's doing something and has an idea can share it with all the others.
That'd be great.
Now, the other point I wanted to bring up about how do we do this, what can we do to actually have an impact? I was reading in a Substack by Eddie Glaude, whom some of you may see on MSNBC, and his Substack is called Native Son.
He's wonderful.
He is, and I love listening to him when he is interviewed on MSNBC. Eddie Glaude wrote in a recent Substack that he thinks we need a nationwide boycott of something. So what we would need to do is target a particular
South
entity.
Carolina.
Okay, and South Carolina could do that. So for 1 or 2 days, sure.
How do we do that?
The airline,
Avello?
up there at Myrtle Beach Airport. But even
Do
say,
you hear what she's? Do you want to come up?
oh sure.
Yeah. Do you like the microphone?
Okay, so what Eddie Glaude said is that we should all band together and select a specific date and a specific organization that we could target and boycott for 1 day. Okay, so if we're upset about grocery prices going up, we just don't buy any for 1 day, 2 days.
Have you guys participated in any of these boycotts? That we
What's the
have?
national one?
All the national ones we do, and some have been for 9 days, and some have been for, so, and if we made it something very South Carolina specific, that their business would be harmed if we, like Publix. Oh, you guys have that here?
Yes.
And I believe that they're Trumpers. And thank you.
Oh, sure.
That would probably hurt some people, but I feel like it'd have to be for more than a day. And we talked about this coming down because we were talking about boycotting things. We were trying to figure out what we were gonna eat. driving here. And I'm a picky eater anyway, but every restaurant, you know, we could do McDonald's are terrible, and or they give money into, you know, Gaza, you know, to blow up Gaza with them. So you have to also be ready to be painful to yourself. You have to be willing to make these privileged sacrifices, you know, and be ready to do it.
Do we know where this penitentiary will be built? What's the job site?
We don't know that yet.
Now, the only thing that's gonna draw national attention to it is we should occupy that job site. Stop them from building it. We're gonna put ourselves on the line. We're gonna put ourselves on the line. We're gonna drag you, we're gonna throw them in jail for stopping and prison
Right.
people like they did in Holocaust.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do that.
Yeah.
And I think we can get a lot of people to do that. We need to unite with the rest of our individual people and I mean, we're all old. Yeah. We don't know that. But I think we need the national attention to get anything done.
We agree with that too. We also were talking about that. We need blue states to be with us on this, yes.
I have a question, like, so some of the events that we have, is there any way to get like a mass transportation where we all get together on a bus or something to get there?
Okay, so if you didn't hear, the question was about getting transportation to events, so that if we could, like, get buses or things to get there. Do you all, do you distribute a fundraising? No.
We're trying, but we haven't heard from Indivisible. I'm not having a lot of luck with Indivisible.
Okay, so, I know Clemson is also not doing distributive fundraising. I do not know how many South Carolina groups do, but if we can find several groups that fundraise through National Indivisible, then we can apply for grants through National for up to like $8,000 if we are banded together as multiple chapters, which means we could charter buses to get everybody to Columbia if we had the funds to do that. We would just have to find several chapters that all have that particular type of fundraising to apply for that.
And our goal is to not even get to a construction site, I mean, if it came to that, okay, but we are hoping. Our goal is to not have a construction site in the first place. We are hoping to join together and be able to do something before we even get to that place. Well, right, but we're gonna try.
Yes.
The only name that I've heard associated with Palmetto Bend was Mace.
Yeah.
Are there others?
I don't know that there are any others that are specifically associated with the name, but I do know that McMaster has said he's looking into whether or not South Carolina has the resources to build such a place.
She has a local office, right? She has it.
Yes, yes,
Charleston.
yes.
Why not start there?
That would be a good place to start.
She's got such a big mouth, she'll give you a lot of.
She also, I'm assuming most of you probably know that she has declared that she's planning to run for governor next year too. So that would be an amazing place to start, is with her. She's coming to Greenville next week, I think, and we've got some plans to be there when she's up there too. Yes?
The importance too of what we're all talking about is, as we grow together, and we'll get more national, but we'll also get powerful, so that they start seeing the numbers, because we're all trying very hard individually to do these things, but that's where we need that recognition that, oh, okay, there's 250, there's not 70, and then exponentially people will join. So I think what you're saying is just a great idea. We're gonna be, not maybe on everything, but on many, bring, you know, the big stuff.
Yeah, one big topic.
Right.
Let's go down and boycott Macy's.
Yes?
There are a great number of organizations here. There are a great number of organizations here. We probably could partner with some of them.
That, we've been trying to do that.
What did she say?
She said there's a lot lot of organizations around here that you guys are trying to partner with. And we've been doing the same thing in the upstate as well. Like Aaron and I partnered together, but we're also working with We the People and 5051, and we've got a local group called Tell Them Tuesday, and we're calling ourselves the Greenville Progressive Coalition. That, you know, we're all working together under one umbrella, just to say that we're forward facing in a united front together.
Thanks.
Thank you guys so much.
I think the idea of all of us indivisible groups having each other's emails and communicating with each other is a wonderful idea, because really we need each other.
We do, yeah.
So
We
let's
need others.
definitely, we can definitely do that, that's not a problem at all. Okay, and I wanted to introduce one more candidate that came, Kathy Redwine. Stand up and, Kathy is running for House Seat 108 against Lee Hewitt. So this is the first time in 10 years that Lee Hewitt has had any competition. Thanks to Kathy Redwine for that. Thank you. Okay, now we've got Mark Baer from PFLAG. He's going to come up here and tell us about his organization. Wonderful, inclusive organization. We love Mark.
Y'all sure you want the microphone or you want my fat mouth? Can y'all hear me all right? Microphone, okay. All right, good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark Baer. I'm the Executive Director for PFLAG Pawleys Island. I think the best way to kind of explain who we are is to kind of tell you a little bit about who I am. So born and raised in this area, very southern, conservative, religious family. So as a young boy, about 8 years old, I already knew that I was gay. I also knew I was supposed to be a dad. In the 70s and 80s, you didn't see that. There wasn't that representation. So I bought into the lies that I was broken and that I could be fixed. Married a girl from high school. We had a child together. Things started getting pretty rough. So I voluntarily went into conversion therapy. 2 rounds of electroshock therapy. I left the 3rd round before it was completed, and I found a phone number for PFLAG. It was a gentleman who was a couple years older than me, straight guy, just met with me, talked with me, and told me that I was valid just being who I am. All right, that set me on the path I needed to be. So for those of you who don't know what PFLAG is, we're the nation's oldest and largest organization dedicated to the support, education, and advocacy for the queer community. Okay, it was established in 1973 from a mom who was tired of her son getting beat up by the public and by the police simply for being gay. She thought that we needed to build community to build support. So about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a group of us who came to understand that there was several youth living in one of our homeless encampments here. The only reason they were living in there was because they were queer. So when you get them taken care of, you start realizing that all those actions are very reactionary. So what do you do to stop that from happening? So a group of us came together and we decided to start a local chapter because we needed to change the understanding and the perception of the community. There's nothing wrong with the kids. It's the community that needs to have their understanding. So that's what we set out to do. I'm so proud that October will be starting our 5th year of service here in this community. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm going to brag on her in the back. Kathy was one of our founding members, so thank you. PFLAG is grassroots. We're peer support. We have monthly support group meetings. We've expanded. The first Monday of every month is Georgetown. The second Monday is Murrells Inlet. The third Monday is Pawleys, and the fourth Monday is a virtual option. We're about building community, standing together. That's our support. You've seen on social media, they keep cutting funding for support. We keep stepping up. We've got stickers in the back. You remember, a lot of us remember the signs that would be in the bathrooms with the phone numbers you could tear off at the bottom. Well, technology's changed, it's a QR code now. So we have that, and it links directly to our website with a support page for people in crisis. Because the queer community is in crisis. We are under attack, make no mistakes about it. Our next step is education. It's about standing up here and talking to people, talking to the community, letting y'all know what's going on. We're talking about book bannings, right? Do y'all know when the first book burning in Germany was? It was from a trans medical clinic. I know, we don't learn this in history. Do y'all know who Alan Turing is?
Yes.
Saved us from the Nazis, the Enigma Code. How many know he was a gay man? In prison, chemically castrated, committed suicide. Our history's been whitewashed, literally, away from us. So it's about standing up for that. It's about making that known. I'm going to read you a little bit, just from a page of we do Project Safe Zone, which is where we go out in the community for free. We teach education, we teach vocabulary, we teach the understanding between binary, non-binary. In this area, we have a lot of grandparents raising grandchildren. That's 2 generations of communication barriers. So we've got to be able to communicate with our youth. We've got to understand what they're talking about and what they're not talking about. I pick on my youngest son a lot. Most of y'all know him. He came to live with us 6 years ago this past weekend. He was 8 years old. So when he first came to us, he asked us, what does LGBTQ mean? Before I could answer, my mom was in the room saying he doesn't need to know about that. I told him the L is for lesbian, which is romantic love between 2 women. The G is for gay, which is romantic love between 2 men. The B is for bi, which is when someone has romantic love for both men and women. The Q is for questioning or queer, which is when someone understands that they're not hetero. And the T is for when someone transitions from one gender to another, so they're living their true form and true to their heart. All of this is about love. How people find love in the world, how we love one another, how we love ourselves. Part of breaking unhealthy cycles and family structures is talking to your children and teaching them love and understanding. And breaking old stigmas and misinformation. I understand a lot of us in the older generations, we think it's about sex. It's not about sex, it's about love. Again, how we love ourselves, how we love each other. All right, now I know what y'all really want to hear about is the advocacy work, right? That's what we're here for, right? Support, education, and advocacy. I'm so proud that PFLAG National put the 2nd lawsuit against the Trump administration, and it was on the transcript. Thank you. From his ban for gender-affirming care. But let's remember that advocacy starts at home, in our own communities. It's grassroots efforts. So I cannot thank Tamika, Councilperson Tamika Williams enough. The hate intimidation ordinance that was signed into the city of Georgetown, that's local advocacy in work, in action. That's working together, building community. Y'all, speaking of Lee Hewitt, do y'all know about that there was a ban on conversion therapy in our state capitol? There was a ban. They threatened it with the budget and they caved. So that ban's been rescinded. No. Sorry, that's not a good thing. Yep. But that's what's going on, and it's about the money. The book bans that we talk about that affect us on state levels, most of them have come out of one county, Beaufort County. And Beaufort County refuses to let the people be heard, so one complaint goes and blocks the books for the entire state. That's what's going on. That's the advocacy work that's needed. We've signed on to an amicus brief that's coming out of the state of Colorado that's on banning conversion therapy. So again, it's about banding together. It's this advocacy work. But please remember, advocacy work does not have to be going to the State House and testifying. Start with phone calls. Start with emails. Start with addressing the checkout person at your grocery store appropriately. That's advocacy in action. Show up to school board, show up to city council meetings, show up to county council meetings. That's what Moms for Liberty is doing. They're making their presence known. We need to make our presence known, y'all. So thank you for giving me some time to speak today.
Thank you so much, Mark. Okay, next, we're gonna have a speaker from the League of Women Voters. Anita is gonna come forward and tell us about what they do. And their work is so important in voter education, forums. They do a lot. You may not realize how much they do, but hopefully she'll
I have
tell
a
us.
list.
She'll tell us all about it. Okay, thanks.
Thank y'all for having us come to talk to you about our organization tonight. We're really proud to be a member of the League of Women Voters, and it's really been that do something for me. So our league has two separate and distinct roles. The first one is voter service and citizen education. So we do unbiased, nonpartisan information about elections. We fight voter suppression. The other branch of us is in action and advocacy. We're nonpartisan, but we study issues, usually nationally for a couple of years, and then take a stand on them, either for or against, and advocate for those stands. Some of those stands are like women's health, abortion, immigration, census, the environment, healthcare reform. Also, our CEO has declared a few months back that the United States is in a constitutional crisis. That's the League of Women Voters. A little bit about our past history. We're old. We're 105 years old. We were started in 1920 in Chicago, about 6 months before the 19th Amendment was ratified. And we spent years protesting and picketing at the White House before that got ratified. In 1928, the League had the first radio broadcast of a candidate forum. In the 1930s, we helped enact Social Security and the Food and Drug Act. In 1940s, President Truman asked the League of Women Voters to be an observer at the UN meetings, and we're still an official observer with them. Oh, we have a long history. In 1973, we invited men to join. Well, it was that era. And we won an Emmy in 1976 for the first televised presidential debate. Anybody know that we did the first one? Yeah, and we did them for another 11 or 12 years, but then we passed on it when it became very partisan. And we're still actively involved in, we have lobbyists in Columbia and in DC. So we have several lobbyists. I've been to our convention and several other things that go on in the state. We have a strong advocacy. They're very, for a club, an organization to say we're in a constitutional crisis is pretty big news. Here in Georgetown County, we've been around for 44 years. Back in 1981, I wasn't here. Back in 1981, a group of concerned individuals formed the club because they were concerned about voting right violations in this county. A year later, they sponsored the very first candidate forum in this county. In 1984, this league worked with the EPA and the steel mill to stop the brown air emissions that were happening. So we've been into conservation and the environment. And the New York Times published an article about this league in 1988 about how our Georgetown paper mill had the highest dioxin level in the nation in 1988. And between the league and the EPA, well, basically what had to happen first is the league members had to educate themselves on dioxin and learn all of that, and they got involved. And and helped solve the pollution problem. We received a 1989 Organizational Conservation Award by the South Carolina Wildlife Federation. We actually hold 4 easements, conservation easements here in Georgetown County. One of them is 325 acres in the reserve golf course. Another one is over 3 acres at Holy Cross Church. There is another one behind 2 homes in rice fields. And then the 4th one that we hold is Magnolia Beach, the very south end of Litchfield Beach, which was known back in the day as Magnolia Beach. We also, some of those easements are held with the Sierra Club and the South Carolina South Carolina Environmental
Project. Thank you.
We actually go out and inspect those conservation easements every year, which is pretty neat. Let's see, what else have we done? This chapter, from its growth and from 1981, has been involved in a lot of educational issues. They were against corporal punishment. They supported the end of that. We advocated for all-day kindergarten. We rallied behind SAVE, which is Stop Any Violence Everywhere in Schools. And we supported the First Step program, and we do not support school vouchers. So, we are nonpartisan, but we are political, very much so. And we always have been. Those ladies back in the 1920s were very politically motivated. So you might want to ask me, well, what have y'all done lately? You done anything lately? Yes, we have. So in 2004, with the major election that went on last year, we personally got voter information to over 2,000 citizens in this county. We targeted a lot of the low voter turnout neighborhoods, and we canvassed them door to door with registration forms to sign them up, with information about if you've had a felony, because that's different in every state how that works, with how to check to make sure that your address is correct, because if your address doesn't match what the election board has as an address, you're not going to be voting right there. You'll have to have, let's see what else we do. Oh, we've been so busy. Sorry. I used to do this talking a lot like this, but I'm retired 8 years from being a Costco general manager, so it's been a while. Okay, we created a voting video explaining exactly how to vote in Georgetown County and have shown it at various public events that we've been at. Last fall, and really since the league formed, we canvassed. We also registered voters last year, and we continue to register voters this year. We registered at nursing homes, schools, the Baskerville Pantry, the Smith Clinic, and any other place that has an event. We try to get out in the public. We attended 5 of the town halls that the Deltas put on last year to explain voting and also to talk about the tax referendums. Oh, am I out of spice? All right, I'll hurry up. We've been in every parade in Georgetown. There's a National Voters Registration Day. Did you know it's a civic holiday and it's in September? And this year we'll be at the Wine and Art Walk with a table to sign you up or to get you registered or to have you join. The biggest news, we've done so much. We've had a candidate forum. We also had a electoral college lecture here. We've just been very, very active, and it's been a really good, for me personally, the best organization I've ever been a part of. And we have increased our membership from a few years ago being 14 to over 52 right now. We would like to hit over 100, and with your help, we could do that.
Yeah, my question is, do you cover the whole South Strand? Because I live in Horry County.
It's just Georgetown.
They have a separate one in
Do
Horton.
they have one in
They
Horton
do.
County?
They sure
Fine,
do.
I will look that up.
When is the meeting held?
The meeting is held the second Monday of each, month at 4 p.m. here at the library. And, just two more things, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We're here tonight, getting out in the public, and we also attend all the Bunnell Foundation, meetings that they have for nonprofits. And, we're so busy, we really would like you to join and help us.
Thank you so much, Marissa. And, if you want to join, they've got the paperwork in the back. So if you want to join, just, go check them out after the meeting. They're great. Okay, so now we have Marissa here. Marissa is going to talk about 5051, which is very active, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what they're up to maybe and future plans. Thank you, Marissa.
Thank you so much. My friend Courtney was supposed to speak here, but they could not attend. But they have something for me to read on their behalf. She did want to say thank you so much for letting us speak here and the Indivisible Board. And I am excited to share more about 5051 and the important work we're doing to support our Constitution. 5051 organizes nonviolent, nonpartisan events that speak out against government actions that threaten our Constitution and democratic norms or increase executive overreach as described in Project 2025. The very first 5051 protests in February and March were a quick response to anti-democratic actions taken by the Trump administration and its allies. The goal was simple but ambitious. We wanted to hold 50 protests in 50 states in one day. We first organized on the website Reddit and quickly spread to other social media platforms. In just a few days, grassroots organizers without any budget or main office or official support pulled together more than 80 peaceful protests in all 50 states. Since then, the protests have grown in frequency and size, including in red states like South Carolina. This movement has reached millions and has connected people to new and established groups which are working together to protect our democracy. Our local group, 5051 Myrtle Beach, is a small group of local volunteers. We work closely with organizations like Indigo Indivisible, our South Carolina 5051 team, and local government agencies to create rallies and protest events centered on democratic themes. While our main focus is to organize peaceful engagement, we've also helped with community aid projects by coordinating food drives, baby supply drives, and school supply drives for local charities. We share event details through the 5051 South Carolina Facebook group, Blue Sky, Mobilize, and our email lists. But we mainly rely on people like you to help spread the word. We want to grow participation in standing up for our Constitution and holding our leaders accountable. We see engaged activism now as a leading predictor of voter involvement next year. And we want your help. We meet Wednesday evenings on the chat room application Discord to plan events, work on media announcements, and make sure everything goes smoothly on event days. If you'd like to get involved, you can email us at 5051myrtlebeach@gmail.com. That is 50501 Myrtle Beach. Or you can come up to and speak to me directly. Our upcoming events include, and I'm glad we touched upon this a little bit earlier, is a protest of Avalo Airlines deportation flights. Now, if you haven't heard already, the commercial airline Avalo, which is present at the Myrtle Beach Airport, has signed a deportation contract with ICE. Now, the event is on Saturday, August 23rd, this weekend, and is across the street from the Myrtle Beach Airport sign on Harrison Boulevard from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. If you would like to see more of these protests, please show up and show your support. Now, our Workers Over Billionaires is going to be our next semi-large protest, and that will be on Saturday, August 30th, across the street from Valor Memorial Park in Market Commons from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We do have flyers available on that table with a QR code that will take you directly to our Mobilize event. And then we have our Constitution Day rally on Wednesday, September 17th at our spot at Chapin Memorial Park, and that'll be at 5 to 7 p.m., which is great news for night owls like me. We will be sharing all of these with Barbie to send and an email later with all of this information. And you can find and sign up for our Mobilize events by searching events near Myrtle Beach. Now, people have been asking for recurring weekly protests, and the Workers Over Billionaires protests we have will be the first of that weekly protests. So if you would also like to see weekly protests in the Myrtle Beach area, come out and show your support. Our Constitution is a great document, but it can't protect itself. It depends on we the people, all of us, to stand up for it. Our leaders, like the military, all take an oath to protect the Constitution, but too many people have broken that oath. It's up to us to hold them accountable. Without us, there is no United States of America. We need to protect the freedom and rights of the past generations fought for and make sure the future generations can look forward to those freedoms too. Thank you so much. That is all they have prepared. Does anyone have any questions before we turn the mic over?
I just want to make a statement. I think there's a lot of people in South Carolina that don't think they can make a difference. So I think it's important. Everything we show up at lets them know we're not a little tiny blue dot. And they want us to think we're a little tiny blue dot. So whatever you could be, whatever you could do, it matters because it makes other people see.
That's very well said. I think everyone that I've spoken to, with no exaggeration, has said to me they thought they were the only person in the state that thought the way they did.
Yeah, I understand that, yeah. Well, stay up here, Marissa, because we're about to break up, well, not break up, but just discuss briefly our small groups. We have some papers around the wall. Can the people who are going to talk about each small group just come forward? Nancy, Catherine, Lynn. I don't know if there's anybody that wants to talk about meeting attenders. I can talk about it if nobody else wants to talk about it. Okay. Marissa, will you talk about book discussers? These are our small groups.
Yes, Indigo Indivisible has split off into several subgroups with more direct activity. The book discussers group with Try Attend, we talk about relevant political books that we can read and discuss. We meet monthly. Now, books that we have discussed in the past was On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder, Democracy Awakening by Heather Cox Richardson, Love Your Enemy by Arthur C. Brooks, and our most recent one is On Freedom by Timothy Snyder.
And we're meeting on that one next week, so if you're interested, just come on. Even if you haven't finished the book, you could come to the meeting.
There's plenty to talk about, and it's also available via ebook and audiobook.
Thank you. Okay. Nancy, Nancy is in charge of sneaky protesters.
Well, we have a great group. We meet every 2 weeks at, here, and if you're interested, there's a sign out there. Please give your email and you can sign up. We have had a lot of fun. We're a fun group, and we also just kind of support each other. We did milk cartons. We did one for Lindsay and one for Tim Scott, the missing, and we put them in the grocery stores. And some of us put them there and left them there, and some of us put them there and just took pictures of them and then, took them away. My sweet husband has been illegally printing money, and so but he just prints it on one side. And so it looks like a real $5 bill, and then we write something on the back, whatever you want, like long live democracy, or this one says America with 3 branches of government, and then, so if you're, like a Walmart or something, you just drop it, and then somebody picks it up. And I actually saw one lady pick one up, and she smiled, and it made me so happy. We bought some constitutions, and we've been putting those in the little libraries around town, and it has a QR code on the back that links to our Facebook page. We have rocks and shells. Well, I don't have these written up, but when we have rocks, you can get and write on the marker and drop those around. We also got some shells, you know, because people like shells. So we got some nice shells and got nail polish and put 8647 on that. So that was fun. And we have some of our members are so great. Marissa's a great member, and she had some cards printed up with that poem about first they came for the communists, and I wasn't a communist. So that was, we have those. We can drop those around. And then another member, Brett, I don't think he's here tonight, but he printed up some cards that have, they're for immigrants. On one side it's what are your rights in Spanish, on the other side it's in English, and so we've had those to take around and drop in places. And I'd like to do this. Our last meeting we were talking about, somebody talked about our history being erased. Oh, you were talking about it, Mark. And that's just a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. So I found this book, and it's only like $6. And so it's Kids African American History. So this is something else that I'd like to buy some of these and put them in the little libraries, you know, so people have this. Anyway, we have a lot of fun. We get together every 2 weeks, 10 o'clock on Wednesdays here. We didn't meet, we don't meet tomorrow, so we meet next week. But I'll be standing back there and love to have you, and it's a fun group. And you know, I know it's a serious time, you know, it's a serious time, but you gotta have fun too, so have some fun.
And if you're interested in this, Sneaky Protest back there. And if you're interested, there's a sign-up sheet back there. Nancy will meet you back there after the meeting if you want to sign up. Okay, Lynn, you want to come talk about the peaceful protest planning?
Turns out this is more complicated than we thought. Unfortunately, because of our collaboration with 5051 and excuse me, Courtney, who is good friends with Marissa, Courtney provides a whole lot of information that we need in order to plan peaceful protests that will be successful, safe, and effective. So we've had a meeting to discuss some of the things that we need to learn, and we also did some brainstorming for different types of protests that we might want to plan for in the future. And these include things like small groups going outside a representative or senator's office, asking to see one after the next, after the next, after the next. The bike path protest seems to be pretty popular. And we do get a lot of people who, well, they can't miss us. I mean, we're just right there on Highway 17, and everybody has to drive on Highway 17. Most of the responses are positive. People wave, they honk. Sometimes they make, you know, these gestures.
But we just radiate love.
Yes, we do. We just radiate love. And it's fun to walk up and down and talk to people as we come and go, and it is a social event. I pushed a little buggy with cool water that I could pass out the last time we had one of these. I totally enjoyed doing that. We have a number of ideas in our brainstorming list. If you're interested in joining us and helping us plan some of these events, your help is definitely welcome and needed. Just recently in a steering committee meeting, we generated another idea for a protest that's fun, and it's a singing protest. Do y'all remember when we had all those wonderful protest songs? Yeah. Okay, so they might just need to be updated just a little. We know the tunes, we can change the lyrics, and we can select a location that,
Lindsey Graham's office.
Lindsey Graham's office.
Just sing outside his office.
Yes, it would get some attention, and make a statement, yes.
The biggest protest that we had in Greenville, we ended it with dancing.
Line dancing.
And there were roughly 6,000 people dancing, and it was pretty amazing. Because we were like, let's have a great time, let's laugh and be happy, and let's piss them off with our joy. And it worked, and that's the one that we got on Mount Allen.
Well, Barbie has another idea for one of our Indigo Indivisible. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's Erin from the Greenville Indivisible. Okay, and she said the last time that they had an event, it ended with a line dance of about 6,000 people. You know, and it is joyful.
It was super fun.
And contagious. Should I tell them about your patriotic?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Barbie has this idea that we could have an event where we sing patriotic songs. I mean, we love our country, right? We know those tunes. We know at least the first verse. And we can find the words to the other verses. Brush up a little bit, and I suspect we might have some folks who would want to join us in that. Okay, so that's what we do. And if you want to join us, you just sign on that little poster over there.
Thank you. And we got, Catherine's gonna talk about letter writers, and I have a small addendum to make, no, you go first. Go ahead, and then I can talk about the postcards, unless you want to.
Okay, the letter writer group will, if you're interested, we meet in the back, and there's a sign on the wall where you can put your emails. But there are about 10 of us, and we don't meet, but whenever there's something really urgent that comes up, you know, I'll send well, it's something that I get in the mail usually, and I forward it to 10 people, and I said, let's send out letters quickly. And today, even just spontaneously, and I haven't even told the letter writers about this yet, I got so angry about our governor sending 200 National Guardsmen to D.C. I looked at his website. There's no email address, and I imagine that's on purpose. He doesn't want to be bombarded. But I sat down, and my computer's not working. My printer's not working, so I wrote a handwritten letter telling him how angry I was about this, and I went and mailed it this morning. So the letter writers, it's just really to constantly keep writing letters, keep writing emails, or you can do 5calls.org, which is a really well-organized website where you look on this website, 5calls, the number 5calls.org, and they tell you the best way to formulate your complaint and the phone number of the person you want to call, and you call them up. And so that's it, just constantly writing, calling. We just can't let up, we just can't. So anybody who is interested in joining that group, come meet me at the back of the room afterwards. Thank you.
I ordered these postcards. I didn't exactly know what I was ordering, but anyway, I ordered these postcards, and they kind of go with the letter writing group. But if you're interested in doing this, it's just you would get 25 postcards. The stamps are included, the addresses are included, everything's included. All you have to do is write "Dear so-and-so" and the address on the other side. Basically, there's not much to it. But if you're interested, they are actually going to Virginia. And it is about the cuts they're making to the VA clinics and area in Virginia. And so, if you're interested in that, I've got an envelope for you. There's just four envelopes because there's 25 postcards. So if anybody wants to write,
I'll have them.
you'll take one?
Well,
You take one. You take them, and then anybody that wants can just get them from you over at Letter Writers. Okay. And also, I want to let you know that John Vincent is going to be in Georgetown next Monday at the Georgetown Democratic Women's meeting. If y'all are interested, at 6 o'clock at the Georgetown Library. And we're going to send out information about all this stuff, so you don't have to forget it. You don't have to remember everything. You're going to get an email with all the information, so you don't have to worry about that. And y'all saw the picture I put out there for money. We are basically been self-funded ever since we started in February, but we're starting to want to start a, checking account. So that's why we're trying to, gather a little bit of money for our checking account. If you want to contribute, that's fine. Let's see. I'm gonna let y'all go sign up for groups in a minute, but I just want to tell you, if you don't mind, if you do want to help with the chairs, leave the first 5 rows just like they are, and then we pick up all the other chairs and put them on the dollies. If anybody wants to help with the chairs, that's fine. Otherwise, does anybody need to say anything? Go ahead.
Yeah, that I just came up with right now. I get a lot of junk, I get a lot of junk, you're gonna be an idea. I get a lot of junk mail and I miss things. So I'm actually thinking of starting another email address for myself that has a letter or something afterwards, so that I know when I get to things like this, that I won't miss it.
Okay.
This is important, so we get things right away, so we can act right away. So if anyone else is like me, that gets a lot of like junk mail, that like gets lost and you don't wanna miss something, that's what I'm thinking about doing, just, but it might help someone.
Okay, that's a good idea. She was just saying, make a new email address for herself, and it doesn't have all the junk coming to it. And maybe just have it coming, what she needs to come to it. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all all go. Thank you for coming, and see you next time.